Tyler Henry built his career on speaking to the dead and occasionally seeing the future. He's made eerily accurate calls, but also some major misfires. So is he the real deal or just lucky?
I'm a believer.
One of Tyler Henry's most talked about predictions came during his 2016 reading with actor Thicke, who didn't have much faith going in to meet Henry, but stayed open-minded.
I am a skeptic by nature, scientific by nature. Show me, prove me.
The Hollywood medium quickly got his attention by connecting with Thicke's grandmother.
You killed that one.
Yeah, that's very cool. I love that.
Whoa, you crushed it.
But things turned more serious when Henry raised concerns about health issues in Thicke's family, suggesting that multiple men have dealt with, or will deal with, blood pressure and/or heart issues. Thicke didn't associate this with any of the men in his family, but Henry persisted.
If you yourself notice like blood pressure or heart murmur, just see a doctor, but I feel almost like we have to kind of like really take this into consideration.
Thank you, Dr. Henry. I'm gonna take that to heart.
The tone stayed light, but the message was clear.
I was really going on about that.
Yeah, you were.
Just months later, Thicke collapsed while playing hockey with his son. His official cause of death was a ruptured aorta, a major cardiovascular event. The timing and details of Henry's warning remain one of the most cited hits from his TV career. Outside of connecting with the deceased, one type of prediction that Henry has repeatedly gotten right involves anticipating not only births, but the gender of babies assigned at birth. In a season 1 episode of Hollywood Medium, Dyrdek came in pretty skeptical.
I don't have any expectations. I feel like I'm pretty medium-proof.
Cool.
Yeah.
No worries.
The ridiculousness star was pleasantly surprised when Henry seemed to refer to a business opportunity that, according to Dyrdek himself, no one was legally about to speak out publicly. Then the conversation turned to Dyrdek's future family.
Ultimately, I see you being a father for a little boy. I can guarantee you that you will be like a father figure for a little boy in your lifetime.
Dyrdek and his wife were amused, especially since they felt strongly otherwise.
So convinced that we're having a girl.
But Henry confidently stood behind his gut feeling.
I can absolutely guarantee you it of anything that I've said, that I know for a fact.
Dyrdek was excited either way and playfully went along with it during the episode.
It's gonna be a boy first, I'm sorry.
You never know, though.
Soon after, the couple welcomed a son. Years later, they did also have a daughter, but Henry's early prediction about the boy turned out to be right, and his insistence on the detail makes it one of his more compelling calls. In 2016, Henry stopped by the Today Show and sat down for a reading with Jenna Hager. He said her late grandfather on her mother's side had come through with a few messages.
The first thing he's saying is, I want her to know that I'm clear mentally. Okay? I don't know why this is coming across in the way.
He added that her grandfather wanted her to know she'd one day have a son.
So I'm gonna have a baby boy.
The reading brought Hager a great deal of comfort.
Skeptics might say, oh, you could find this information on the internet.
Google or whatever.
2 of the things you said to me aren't able to be found on the internet.
3 years later, Hager gave birth to a boy named Henry Harold Hal Hager, named in part for both of his grandfathers. Henry sat down with actor and reality star Jamie Chung. Like many of his guests, she claimed she wasn't all that much of a believer.
In terms of the spectrum of believing in a medium and this whole process, I'm not like a true believer. I'm more of a skeptic.
Henry accurately pointed out her struggle to balance career and love life, and then insisted that his guides wanted to communicate something personal.
So I've been trying to kind of figure out whether to say this, but they're bringing me to baby stuff.
That's really hot here.
But Henry told her that motherhood was one of her life's key purposes, and that her path to parenthood might look a little different.
We're gonna go through some hurdles to get there, is the way I would describe it.
He suggested that alternative forms of fertility or pregnancy taking a longer time than expected shouldn't worry her too much.
Just be very conscientious in the event that that is something you do.
2 years later, Chung and husband Brian Greenberg welcomed twin boys, born via surrogate. Her journey may not have followed the typical route, but Henry's prediction about a unique fertility path proved accurate. During a 2016 episode of Hollywood Medium, Henry sat down with WWE stars Brie and Ricki Garcia, also known as the Bella Twins. The reading focused heavily on a family, and then took an emotional turn when Henry claimed to be getting a message from Brie's late boyfriend.
And from his perspective, the feeling is that he has guided you throughout this process. It's a feeling of like you've carried on his legacy through your work.
Another message came from their late grandfather, along with a specific baby prediction.
He is acknowledging that he's with a child on the other side that hasn't been born yet. But what's interesting, this child will be born over the course of the next 2 years.
Henry described it as a comforting connection between generations, one the twins found deeply moving.
You're amazing, Tyler.
You were so sweet.
You're insane.
Oh my gosh.
In 2017, Brie gave birth to her first child, and Nikki followed in 2020 with a son. Neither child would meet their great-grandfather, but the idea that he'd already met them offered the family a kind of spiritual closure. And once again, Henry's timeline checked out.
I wish the world had more of him. We need more Tylers in the world. We need more Tylers.
During a season 1 reading with Amber Rose, Henry steered the conversation towards her love life and gave a surprisingly specific prediction. He mentioned seeing a future relationship tied to the music industry, possibly starting in the spring, and told her to pay attention to a certain detail.
Keep in mind a man with a T name. That's all.
T.
That's all I'll say.
Rose was amused by some other warnings Henry lightheartedly tossed her way.
I don't want you to date a rapper.
No, I don't want to date a rapper anymore.
But she left the session open to possibilities, and while it wasn't immediate, she did go on to date NBA player Terrence Ross, a short-lived relationship that began, just as predicted, in the spring.
When it
I'm
happened.
freaking out. This is crazy.
It may not have been a lasting match, but between the timing and the T name, fans were impressed by how closely the real-life romance lined up with Henry's reading. Of course, not every prediction from the Hollywood medium has panned out, and a few of his big misses have raised eyebrows. During an episode of Live from the Other Side with Tyler Henry, the medium sat down with Ricki Lake and brought up fire and water damage, but was unclear of the timeline.
Fire and water, we gotta watch it out.
Lake, who lived in wildfire-prone Malibu and had lost a home before, directly asked if he foresaw another fire coming. Henry glossed over it, suggesting the danger may be behind her. But just 3 months later, Lake's home was destroyed in one of California's devastating wildfires. Supporters framed the moment as eerily prophetic, but critics pointed out that Henry didn't actually predict the disaster. He seemed to dismiss the possibility of a future one.
I'm trying to think how to articulate this without it sounding concerning. I think this may have already happened.
In the case of an incoming devastating house fire, you'd think he'd be okay with his reading sounding concerning. The fact that the fire happened anyway may have added to his mystique, but it wasn't a psychic win. During a 2017 episode of Hollywood Medium, Henry did a reading for Khloe Kardashian alongside Kris and Kylie Jenner. At the time, Khloe was dating NBA player Tristan Thompson, and after Henry mentioned possible love interests in her future, she directly asked about her present.
So you keep saying my next boyfriend or whatever. Do you not see anything about my current boyfriend?
Lovely luck, because we might be fine there.
Henry was careful and supportive, with general comments about long-distance relationships. He cautioned that these issues could strain the relationship, but stopped short of predicting anything more serious.
Yeah, as long as we're good with all that travel, I'm honestly not saying anything that I'm immediately concerned about.
What he didn't foresee? Well, Thompson's repeated cheating and pregnancy scandals, including one that surfaced just days before Khloe gave birth to their first child. Is it possible Henry was hesitant to be honest about a bad feeling he had? Maybe, but given that serial infidelity ultimately ended the relationship, his reading missed the mark. For any hater searching for evidence that Henry's psychic visions are wrong, look no further than the Hollywood medium star's revelations on the 2016 United States presidential election. 3 months ahead of the election, Henry briefly shared his thoughts about Donald Trump winning the presidency. While fielding questions from media members during a formal press conference, a reporter asked about Trump's chances. Henry said, "I'm watching him, and I am not worried." Henry's somewhat vague statement seemed to imply that he did not see a future in which Trump ended up in the White House. But if you haven't heard, the 2016 presidential election infamously ended in a win for Trump, a monumental event that Henry didn't appear to see coming.
The rest is history, exactly.
While many people didn't take Trump's candidacy seriously at first, and his ultimate win shocked a lot of the world, someone with true clairvoyant ability might have seen Trump's presidential win coming, no? Wow.